You are allowed to travel back in time as a spectating ghost for a day. You cannot change history, only observe it. Where will you go? I'm fascinated with the sinking of the Titanic, so naturally I would go back in time and watch the filming of the movie firsthand. To see some dinosaurs. Finally a way to see them where I don't have to fear being eaten alive. See, but you have hundreds of millions of years of dinosaurs. How do you pick? 452 AD. I want to hear the discussion between Pope Leo I and Attila the Hun that convinced Attila to just turn around and not invade Italy. Honestly, just a regular day in a large medieval city like Paris, London, etc. Just to see how the people actually looked like, how they spoke, what they did in their day-to-day lives, how everything looked different from today. Just on Reddit a while ago was saying that London wasn't a great place to be in medieval times. Most bones found from that time have signs of physical violence. The eruption of the Krakatoa. Just to hear the loudest sound ever. I wanna see where my favorite plushie cat went when I was 6. I just f***ing lost it one day. Still mad. I wanna see the Giza pyramid being capped. The moon landing. Could you go deaf? It doesn't specify if you are immune to deafness, blindness and any otherness. Well, just to go with one that nobody else has said. The moment primordial man discovers fire. Edit. A word. Discovers. All masters? The Posen Conference. http www. Jewish Voce Library. Org Himmler's Posen speech quote extermination quote, where Himmler lays out the final solution. Would be fascinating to see the looks on the audience's faces since they no longer have plausible deniability or could chalk up Hitler's antisemitism as campaign rhetoric anymore. Let's go to Hiroshima when the bomb was dropped. I'd like to see a nuke go off up close without, dying. I'm trying to go to a Beatles concert. I would try an hour before the Big Bang. Just to see if time really just started there or if there was something else prior that also had something like time that could allow me to go back an hour before the Big Bang. Get to the Library of Alexandria a day before it's destroyed and try to see and read as much as I could. The 30th of September. 1791. To hear the premiere performance of Mozart's The Magic Flute, Die Zauberflöte. K. 620, at the Free Horse Theatre auf der Wieden in Vienna. Just 2 months before the composer's premature death. The signing of the Declaration of Independence, the 2nd of July. 1776. Announced on the 4th of July. Just especially to see why John Hancock signed his name so big. And if he really did make a statement of the king can't not see this signature. The Roswell crash. Time to see what really happened. Even if it wasn't aliens. It would still be interesting to see what the government wanted to cover up so bad. I would travel back to when the elderly guy I provide care for was young. Still in med school. And just met his wife to be. I want to know who the man was before he became a successful person and before he started to lose his mind. Watch the Battle of Swissguard from 1527 as they defended the Vatican 400-1 or something like that, giving the Pope time to escape. Just an ordinary day when my grandparents were both still alive. My grandfather only passed away 5 years ago, but my grandmother has been gone for 33. Roanoke Island. I've always been fascinated about what actually happened there. Did the Native Americans take them in? Were they slaughtered? Why was Croton carved in the settlement? So many questions I'd like to have answered. Edit. Change Crota to Croton. On that time where my father and I was watching TV and he was showing symptoms for a stroke and went for the bathroom. But being a 12-year-old kid at that time, I just did nothing, thinking it was just one of his jokes. After like 15 minutes realized he's taking too long. I took a peek and was in a weird pose that looks like he was fixing tubes behind the toilet. I asked him if he was okay. Said he was in a weird voice. I shrugged and went back watching TV. Few minutes after, Mum came in, saw Dad, and that was one of the moments I wished I could go back in time. The 28th of June, 1914. I would love to see the 20th century broken down to one important event. How one driver, one assassin, one failed grenade, and one person of royalty influenced the next 100 years. When Yellowstone supervolcano went off. MLK's I Have a Dream speech. It's on YouTube. The trial of Socrates. Our primary knowledge of him and his work comes from his students, Plato and Xenophon. And there's reason to believe that they used Socrates as a figure to promote their own works. I'd like to see the reality of what happened. But if Socrates was anything like his pupils described, it'd really be a sight to see him in action before the Athenian court. Figure more people would say Roswell incident, Egypt pyramid to see how they were built, Stonehenge, Sumerian Empire to see what happened, to the Incan Empire to see what happened to Atahualpa's ransom if there ever was one. I would really like to see one of Adolf Hitler's rallies at Nuremberg. Just stand there and watch as this madman tells the German people and fellow Nazis his ideologies. I would go back to late 1958 or early 1959. To a Scottish seaside town where my parents built and operated a small shop. I'd just like to see them. What they did. And were like at the same age as my kids are now. And see myself as a baby. There were better days later. But they were happy days then too. And I miss them a lot. Just to see them again would be good. The day I was born. I'm going to a Bleach Era Nirvana concert. Those seem rad. Probably a waste of the ability but worth it. I'd watch my parents' wedding. They divorced when I was 7 and my father died when I was in high school. So I don't have many memories of them together beyond being cordial for the sake of the kids. It would be nice to see them happy. Even for a day. The Battle of the Somme during World War I. I'm fascinated by the World War's history, mainly the first, and it'd be f***ing awesome to watch a massive battle like this. Especially since I'm a ghost, I can possess soldiers and get a pod look at everything.